Police confronting protesters and firing clouds of tear gas, these scenes have become common in the Gulf nation ever since the uprising began. That's despite constant talks between the ruling Sunni family and the opposition. The sheer majority in the country want a constitutional monarchy with a government which has chosen to serve in a democratically elected parliament.
Now, March saw one of the biggest demonstrations in Bahrain's history. That same month, the UN Commissioner for Human Rights criticized Bahrain for disproportionate.
Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahawah, Yahawashi. Double honors to the elders of GMS, and shalom to the elect out there that's pushing the word in sincerity and in truth. All right, now I'm just gonna get right into the scriptures, okay, and I'm gonna get a couple precepts in the Apocrypha, right? Basically, you know, all these riots that's going on in Egypt right now. You know, as well as other countries like in Brazil, they're rioting. It started out as a rioting of, you know, raised bus prices. You've got riots in Turkey. You've got riots in Europe, which has been happening for the past couple years from the austerity measures. And you've got numerous countries, and you've got numerous cities around the world that's protesting against their government, which, you know, I'm you know, through the Spirit, I'm gonna prove that that's part of prophecy, because that's supposed to happen before the you know, before the Most High sends His Lord, His Son down here to deliver Israel. Before the end of America, you're gonna see not only protests in America, but you're going to see protests around the world, and this is going to get worse and worse and worse. All right. Now this is 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. I'm just going to start at 1 and read down. It says, he says, I'll just start at 2. Well, I'll start at 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which He made. Right. So it's saying what? When you see these signs that I told you before that's going to happen, the race riots, the you know, the earthquakes, the uproars of the people, wars and rumors of wars, that's when you know that the Most High is going to send who? His Son down, Yahawashi, to deliver Israel and have take rule over this planet, right? And it says, verse 3, it says, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Right, verse 4, it says, I'll start over. It says, therefore when they shall see earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right. So that's saying what? It's part of prophecy. The Most High told you all the way from Genesis, when the Most High, before the Most High sends His Son down here, there's going to be clues for the elect to know that he's about to, that the end has come, that the end is near. And a couple of those clues are earthquakes around the world in diverse places, right? As well as uproars in the people. And that's happening now. There's earthquakes, there's diverse earthquakes around the world that happens on a daily. I remember about a year ago I had an earthquake app that let me know whenever an earthquake happened. I had to turn it off because I would think I'm getting a text message every 5 minutes. It would just keep going off. Why? Because there's a new earthquake happening here, over there, over here, and it's happening more at a frequent rate. Why? Because it's all part of prophecy, as well as the uproars in the people. You've got riots over there right now in Egypt. I think in the past week, right? It's been like 900 people dead. But pretty soon the Lord is gonna have it where the tides are gonna start changing. And it's also gonna happen here in America. What you see over there in Egypt, what you see over there in Europe and Brazil and all over the world, that's just a precursor for what's gonna happen here in America. Because once that happens, then Esau, all right, is gonna have to establish that martial law to try to lock down the streets, because the tides are going to change, and the people are going to start having the upper hand, so to speak. They're going to be really doing a lot of killing, where they're going to have to institute that martial law, right? And I'm going to prove it with this scripture. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 15. It says, well, I'll start at 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand." Right. So what's that talking about? There's going to be race riots. It's going to be, once they, if there's a food shortage, you best believe their natural instinct of survival is going to kick in. And guess what? They're going to go kill their next door neighbor. They're going to go against their next door neighbor. They're going to go and get where they can get it, by all means necessary, because, over here in America and across the world is going to be very hard times. The Bible said there's not going to be any time before or any time to come of these last days that's going to take place, right? And it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Right. So what's that saying? That the people that fight against the government, fight against the politicians, they're going to start getting the upper hand. Why? Because it's going to be the Most High giving them that ability to do so. Right? And so once that happens, the elect is going to be rejoicing, because we know we're that much closer for our deliverance. Lord willing, I'm part of that number. But the elect, once we see these things happening, right, we'll know we're that much closer to the deliverance of the deliverance of the Israelites, or the elect of the nation of Israel, you so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans. So right now, you see those riots happening right now. It's just like the precursor to what's really going to happen. So when we see these things happening, rejoice, Israel. We should be rejoicing right now, because we know that the end is near by the signs that the Most High gave us from the beginning. All right? So with that, shalom.